To qualify to be an applicant for a community association manager's license, an individual must be at least 18 years old, be a resident of the state unless they are qualifying under a non-resident licensure, be a high school graduate or hold a certificate of equivalency, complete a community association manager's course of at least 25 in-class hours, pass a state examination. To qualify to be an applicant for a salesperson's license, an individual must be at least 18 years old, be a resident of the state unless they are qualifying under a non-resident licensure, be a high school graduate or hold a certificate of equivalency, complete a salesperson's course of at least 75 in-class hours, pass a state examination. In addition to the requirements to become licensed as a salesperson, each licensee must also complete a post-license course of study consisting of at least 25 hours of education within 1 year of issuance of their license. To qualify to be an applicant for a broker's license, an individual must be at least 21 years old, be a resident of the state unless they are qualifying under a non-resident licensure, be a high school graduate or hold a certificate of equivalency, complete a broker's course of at least 60 in-class hours, pass a state examination. If the applicant was licensed as a community manager, provide proof of an additional 75 in-class hours approved by the Commission, typically the salesperson's pre-license course. License renewal. When renewing a license, an individual must provide proof of completing a minimum of 6 hours of education per year of the renewal period. The power to set the license period is made by the Commission and is currently 4 years. An exemption from meeting the continuing education requirements exists for licensees serving on active duty in the Armed Forces or General Assembly. It is their option to meet the CE requirements while serving. However, if they do not maintain CE while serving more than 2 years, they are required to complete a 25-hour course within 6 months of conclusion of service. Non-resident licensees. Licensure in Georgia doesn't necessarily require residency in Georgia. There are several requirements the Commission may require before issuing a license to include provide proof of licensure in his state, paying fees, stating in writing that the licensee has read the laws, rules, and regulations and agrees to abide by them, affiliation with a broker, resident or non-resident, if he is licensed as anything other than a broker, provide documentation with copies of any disciplinary actions, appointing the real estate commissioner as agent to receive legal notices on behalf of the licensee, a written agreement that the licensee will cooperate with investigations by the Commission. A licensee from another state may enter into a written agreement with a Georgia broker which would allow the out-of-state broker to practice in Georgia without a license. The Georgia broker will be responsible for the verification of licensure and is also required to maintain a copy of the written agreement for a minimum of 3 years. The written agreement shall include provisions for how commissions will be split between Georgia broker and out-of-state licensee, any listings of management agreements to be in the name of the Georgia broker, the out-of-state licensee to conduct negotiations only with express permission of the Georgia broker, advertising to identify the Georgia broker, trust funds to be held in the Georgia broker's trust accounts unless all parties agree in writing to the contrary. Granting of a broker's license. To be issued a broker's license to a firm, the firm is required to designate an individual licensed as a broker to be its qualifying broker. The qualifying broker shall have the authority to bind the firm in cases before the Commission. The qualifying broker is responsible for making sure the firm and all licensees comply with the laws and rules. Form of license. Each licensee shall be delivered or mailed to the broker, and the broker shall maintain custody and control. In addition, the Commission shall provide a pocket card certifying the licensure of the person.